Yay. Wow. Sudden jump. Turian culture. Let's see how British they are. While Turians are individual with personal desires, their instinct is to equate the self with the group, and set aside personal desires for the good of all. Turians are taught to have a strong sense of personal accountability, the Turian honour, that other races find so remarkable. Ding. Turians are taught to own every decision they make, good or ill. The worst sin they can make in the eyes of their people is to lie about their own actions. Turians who murder will try to get away with it, but if directly questioned, most will confess the crime. Turians have a strong inclination towards public service and self-sacrifice, so they tend to be poor entrepreneurs. No comment. To compensate, they accepted the mercantile volus as a client race, offering protection in exchange for their fiscal expertise. See? See, they've got vassals and colonies, you know? British Empire! The Turian military is the centre of their society. It is not just an armed force, it is an all-encompassing public works organisation. The military police are also the civic police. That doesn't sound good. The civic police. The fire brigades service the civilian population as well as military facilities. The Corps of Engineers builds and maintains spaceports, schools, water purification plants, and power stations. The Merchant Marine ensures that all worlds get needed resources. That sounds very much the British Empire. Not modern day, admittedly, but you would have elements of the British military doing all these things in the colonies, and I think also here, but I'm not sure, in the United Kingdom. That certainly happened in colonies. We still have a thing called the Merchant Navy, which is attached to the Navy, I think, but is separate. And yeah, the Turians are British. Although they lack the brutality of the Krogan, so this is military doctrine, the skill of the Asari, and the virtuosity of the virtuosity? Do you mean the virtue of the humans? Or is that another word that means something different? The Turian military has formidable discipline. Officers and NCOs are lifers with years of field experience. Enlisted personnel are thoroughly trained and stay calm under fire. Sounds like the Redcoats. Turian units don't break. Sounds like the Redcoats. Even if their entire line collapses, they fall back in order, setting ambushes as they go. A popular saying holds, you will only see a Turian's back once he's dead. Boot camp begins on the 15th birthday. Soldiers receive a year of training before being assigned to a field unit. Officers train for even longer. Most serve until the age of 30, at which point they become part of the reserves. Dad's army! Who do you think you are kidding? Even if they suffer injuries preventing frontline service, most do support work behind the lines. Biotics are uncommon. While admired for their exacting skills, Biotics' motives are not always fully trusted by the common soldier. The Turians prefer to assign their Biotics to specialist teams called cabals. Command and control is decentralized and flexible. Individual squads can call for artillery and air support. They make extensive use of combat drones for light duties and practice combined arms. Infantry operates with armor, supported by overhead gunships. Strategically, they are methodical and patient and dislike risky operations. Sounds British. I think Monty was like that. Tradition is important. Each legion has a full-time staff of historians who chronicle its battle honours in detail. The oldest have records dating back to the Turian Iron Age. If a legion is destroyed in battle, it is reconstituted rather than replaced. The Turians recruit auxiliary units from conquered or absorbed minor races. Sounds British. Auxiliary, I should stop saying that, but they really do. Auxiliaries are generally light infantry or armoured cavalry units that screen and support the main Turian formations. At the conclusion of their service in the auxiliaries, recruits are granted Turian citizenship. And that happens! I think that's, well, it recently started happening with the Gurkhas. Yeah, so, I mean, I say that a lot, but I think when you're creating new races, like the Turians and Sari and Krogans and da-da-da-da-da, you end up looking back through human history, because that's all we've really got to go on. And then you pick elements of that, like what kind of thing do we want this character to be like, or this race to be like. So I think the Turian is deliberately, or it's inspired by the British, I would go with. Hello, Ashley.
Commander, you have a minute to talk?
Of course.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
I think that's how I'd see it. Because they're not members of the Alliance. This is an Alliance ship. Why? So, okay, you mean because they're not Alliance?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
Yes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
I can't confine them. You don't trust them?
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies.
Touché.
We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
But we need allies. We can't go out into the wild, black, inky space darkness of space without some kind of friendship and alliance.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
That works too.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the Council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
I want to say how cynical. Part of me's tempted to say that, and then I'm thinking, actually, you know, I agree with her on this. You know, I can see that. But I'm not going to say, of course they will. Because I need to keep my crew on side. If we work together, then there shouldn't be yeah, fight back to back. Not necessarily.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
I'm not racist, but I can see where she's coming from, in a way. I mean, why do you feel that? I'm going to say that. That's what I'm going to say. But I can see where she's coming from. If the choice is save a Turian or save a human, the Turians will probably pick the Turians and the humans will pick the humans. Because that's what you do if you don't have anything else to work on. But I'm going to ask her, why do you feel that?
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
Investigate. So you're from a military family too, eh?
I come from a military family too. My parents were both Navy. Anybody in your family we might know?
Couldn't say, Commander. We probably have a lot in common. You join up to carry on the tradition?
I think that's going to be... He's very proud of... He's kind of not proud of being human. I'm trying to... I'm starting to kind of... This character slowly kind of... I mean, what are we on? Pot a lot. I'm only really thinking about his character now. That's really bad. I don't think he's going to have been... I think, yeah, it's partly for the tradition, but it's also to serve the Alliance. He's very kind of... And I think this is kind of why he kind of gets on... I think... I kind of like Garrus, just kind of... I think it's just kind of the Turian sense of honor, because he has that, to serve the Alliance.
Mainly I wanted to serve. Protect the Alliance, save lives, you know.
Glad to hear it. I'd hate to think you were out here for a free college education.
It did help. And I think it's also partly... It's another way... It's a way to connect with Ashley on this issue. It's just like, you know, I joined up to serve the Alliance. And we need these guys. Tell me about your service.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
Oh, you deserved better.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
I understand your feelings. Yeah.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
Yep.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
No, that's very kind of... I think I'm going to say, what about me? Because that just... These kind of things, I'm not that. It's like, remember that. Remember, I'm in charge. No. And what about me?
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
That depends, sir. If you ordered me to kiss a superior officer, that would be a violation of the regs concerning fraternization. That would make it an illegal order. I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command. Sir.